All right. Good afternoon, good peeps. Good afternoon. Some places probably still morning, so good morning to you. But as always, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whenever you're watching this content. And as always, like, comment, subscribe, and share. Y'all already know what to do. First thing first, give me a mic check. Okay, somebody already beat me to the punch. All right, mic is good. All right. If y'all haven't, please get that thumbs up for your boy. We got a very important stream today. Y'all know I did the story last night of the 5-year-old boy who is autistic and nonverbal, and we heard of the dirty deed that the dad has done to him. Okay, and y'all know last night I mentioned that I wanted to reach out to the grandmother, but I didn't know if it was going to be the right time, and not considering that this is still fresh. But I went ahead and did it anyway, and we're going to be talking to her in a minute. All right. Let me change my screen real quick. Now, for those of you who do not know the story, what I'm going to do is play a clip for y'all and let y'all hear what's going on. So kind of give you up to part of what's going on. And once I get through playing this clip, I'm going to be bringing the grandmother in. And, she said she heard my live, and she said she want to clear up some things that I had questions about. And I really appreciate her for doing that. Once I get through playing this clip, I'm going to be bringing the grandmother in. Oops, forgot to close that out. My bad. Forgot to close that out. All right. So for those of you who don't know about the story, let me play this little clip for y'all. Then we're going to bring the grandmother in, and we're going to let the grandma speak about the situation at hand. So just for people who wasn't here when I first originally told the story, here's what's going on.
The family of the 5-year-old Raleigh boy who doctors say was brutally beaten to death this past weekend is sharing details.
What is wrong with this thing?
The family of the 5-year-old Raleigh boy who doctors say was brutally beaten to death this past weekend is sharing details about their tragedy with Eyewitness News. Thanks for joining us. I'm Steve Daniels.
And I'm Bianca Holman in for Lauren Johnson. Carter Holloway died Monday from a brain hemorrhage. Today, his father, AMIR HINES, appeared back in court on updated charges. And so Sean Coffey, he spoke with Carter's grandmother before that appearance. He's live tonight with the heartbreaking story. Sean.
Yeah, it really was a heartbreaking day at the Holloway home and in court, Bianca and Steve. Carter's grandmother, Tiffany Holloway, says he was autistic and nonverbal and was a caring, energetic 5-year-old who loved superheroes and shoes and his 2-year-old sister. Now the family is forced to live a reality that no family should as they plan the boy's funeral.
His smile, he's always happy. Just bop. He just bop around all the time. He's my bop bop.
Tiffany Holloway can't help but fight back tears when asked about her grandson Carter.
Trying to be strong for his mother. It's hard because I don't want her to see me cry. But I'm hurting too.
Boppy. Days after doctors say Carter was beaten to death, his Christmas presents still sit wrapped under her tree.
Boppy. Keep going.
Doctors say the 5-year-old Carter died from a brain hemorrhage brought on by severe physical abuse. Tiffany says the boy had bruises all over his body.
Processing the crime, I can't process that. Processing that I'll never see Carter again. I struggle with it.
On Wednesday, Carter's father, AMIR HINES, was back before a judge on murder charges. He was previously charged with felony child abuse.
If you were convicted, you could be put to death.
Tiffany says AMIR told the family Carter fell off his bike, then fell again in the shower. The family just wants the truth.
that will help us in this process of grieving. To just know the truth, to know what Carter went through in those last moments he was alert and alive.
But Tiffany says despite their agony, it's not hard keeping Carter's memory alive.
This blanket gives me peace. It gives me my Carter, my Bop Bop.
Legal records show Hines has spent most of Carter's life locked up before he was released this past August. The Holloways say that he had come to spend more time with Carter these past few months. Meantime, Hines has not responded to the family's allegations that when they first learned of this accident, that they had said that he had fallen off of his bike. Meantime, the family has also set up an online fundraiser to help cover funeral costs. You can find that information on abc11.com. We're live in Raleigh. Sean Coffey, ABC 11 Eyewitness News.
So, guys, for those of you who don't know about the story, you just heard about the story right there. But again, like I said, the lady y'all just saw on there, that is his grandmother, and I have her with me now, and we're finna talk to the grandmother right now. Miss Holloway, you can hear me? You go ahead and mute yourself, babe.
Yes, I can hear you.
All right. I want to say thank you for coming on. And again, I apologize for not sending you the link to my show, but you did your research and found me. So y'all, she found me and heard some things that I said or whatnot. Ms. Holloway, before we go into forward, I want to say to you, you were saying, you didn't want Maddie to see you crying. And I know you heard me say on my stream, baby, you hear me. You the grandmother. I mean, we got feelings. This stuff hurts. This stuff hurts, baby. So I like, baby, the tears is the last thing we need to worry about right now. You love that boy, and I can see it. I can hear it in your voice, and I see it in your eyes, and I see it in your pictures. You loved him, so baby, let them tears flow. I'm darn about to cry with you. Because when I lost my grandmother, I had no grandmas left, but the one I was close to, when she died, that hurt. I cried on and off, darn near about a month and a half. So, but in a nutshell, I understand where you was coming from. And also, I want to get this straight, because I went back and listened. Okay, apparently they wrote the article poorly, or it's just the way that I read it about previous charges. Okay, what I came to what they were saying was, at first he had got charged with one thing, but they came back and charged him with murder on top of that same thing. But how the article was like, he had got charged with something. It made me thought he had a history of abuse of children, but that was just for the case. So, guys, my bad. He doesn't have no history of abusing the child. It was just how they worded it, that he had a previous charge, but then they added the murder charge on top of that charge for the same boy. All right. So, so is that correct, Ms. Holloway? That's correct.
That's correct. When they initially charged him, the hospital is who called 911 to report the child abuse.
I was just going to ask you that. I'm glad you're getting in there. Okay.
And so the father was initially charged with child abuse while Carter was still alive, because he was in the father's custody when the incident happened. And through investigation at the hospital, they were able to determine that, therefore, Madison held no accountability in the incident itself. But when he died, it was hours later after they charged him with the child abuse. So that's why they had to upgrade the charge from felony child abuse to murder.
Gotcha. So when the accident initially happened, did he try to call any one of y'all, or he tried to cover it up, or did he call anybody?
Okay. We're still trying to put the story together and make it make sense, because we have text messages from Madison texting him that day asking what Carter was doing, because she would check on Carter. We would FaceTime him and everything. So he told Madison, the father told Madison, that Carter had eaten breakfast and laid back down and went to sleep.
Okay.
According to the investigation, the incident actually occurred Saturday night. So all the things that he said in the text message, when she said, "How's Carter doing?" And the father said he was fine. He's being Carter, because she asked, was he being good or how was he behaving? I don't remember her exact terms, but she was just, mom calling, checking on the child. How is he behaving? Because
Mm-hmm.
Carter does have autism, and sometimes, he can be loud. He can,
Right. Right. Right.
he'll throw toys, get excited. So that's one thing Madison is concerned about. She knows that as a parent who's been raising him as a single parent for 5 years, she had to learn how to deal with his special needs, his
Right.
individual needs.
Right. Right.
And she was aware that, Amir has not been around long enough to have it down packed. So she would check in on him and make sure he was okay, just like, all right, let me know if you want me to come get him. And every time she would call, Amir say, he's good, he's fine. And I even said, is he able to handle Carter? And
Right.
she
Right.
said that Amir told her that he's totally different with him. He said that he plays with the other kids, which we knew Carter doesn't play with children. He parallel plays. He plays beside children. He has a hard time sharing toys. He doesn't understand. So he gets his own little thing and he'll go sit and play beside them. He doesn't care to interact with them. He might want a hug when he first gets there and meets you. But
Mm-hmm.
when he's playing, he plays by himself. He'll count, build, whatever, but it's by himself.
Mm-hmm.
And
So
so,
go
go
ahead.
ahead.
So I was kind of somewhat true in my assessment when I was saying that, uh, Maddie let him go stay with him for the holidays, so they kind of get acquainted. But he probably really didn't know how to handle it because he was special needs. He didn't know how to handle him, or he didn't know what to do, or anything like that. Because like they put it out there, habits seem like majority of the time when the baby was here, he was in jail. So he really didn't know how to handle the situation with his child.
Well, so when he first got out, they would do similar to like a play date where Madison wouldn't leave him with him. They go somewhere together, or she'd meet him. He has a friend that has children,
Right.
so they would do group things together.
Mm-hmm.
And as time progressed, she would allow him to come pick him up with his friend and their kids and go play, or go to their house. And just as time progressed, he would spend a little more and a little more time together. Carter had a birthday party in September, and Amir came, and I saw him interacting with Carter, and I saw how Carter had a tantrum. Amir just picked him up. He seemed gentle with them. I
Mm-hmm.
have pictures of him with Carter in my telephone,
Hmm.
and just days before the incident.
Oh
Well,
wow, day for the incident.
no, days before the incident occurred, I was talking to a cousin,
Mm-hmm.
and I was so happy. I was like, girl, Carter's dad came out and he's doing so good with them. So we had no reason to believe that he would hurt Carter.
Right.
None at all, because whenever we saw him interacting with Carter, Carter was calm. But Carter is the type that he likes affection. So if you hold him, even though he's 5, he's a small 5.
Mm-hmm.
Even though he's 5, he likes to be held. He'll just sit on your lap and chill.
Mm-hmm.
Allow him to watch his little coca melon or whatever, and he'll be still. So I think because his dad, hadn't been around him previously, he babied him a lot when, carried him and stuff.
Yeah.
So Carter ate that up.
Right.
So when we were all together, he never had like a real bad tantrum or anything to where we had to show him like, okay, if Carter gets upset, do not raise your voice, because
Mm-hmm.
that'll only make it worse. You have to get down, hold his hands, tell him it's okay. Try to figure out what he's tantruming about, because sometimes you have to figure that out, because he's not going to say, I want this, or this broke. So you
Right.
have
A
to
lot
look
of them.
around, and if you
Right.
see he spilled this drink, okay, we can get more drink. Let's go, and he'll be fine. But we only saw the gentle side of him.
Right. And yeah, with people like Carter, again, if they can't like form complete sentences, they are able to show gestures
Hmm.
what they want and what they need. 'Cause like I told you, I work with a lot of them, but it's mainly adults. So
Yes.
but I know it's still probably slightly different with a child because they still developing. And I've been
Hmm.
doing this for over 15 years, so that's one of the things that really touched my heart about this story, because this ain't the only story I did that a child who has a disability that their parents done something to him, man. I think that is quite ridiculous, and
Yeah.
and again, like I told you, a couple of followers of mine sent me the story, and when I just read, I just like, okay, this is wild, you know. And when I heard he been in prison all his life, I like, come on now, really? And then now this. So, if I may ask you, if you have the answer, you know, what was he in jail for before he got out? What was he in jail for?
This last time he went in, it was armed robbery, and he did about 4 years.
And the time before that?
I don't know the individual charges. I know it was some felony probation violations, possession of a firearm by a felon, larceny.
Wow, wow,
He had quite a few mug shots,
wow.
but none of them were, other than that very last charge, none of them were violent offenses. They were, the armed robbery is rough, but the rest of them were like larceny, and I also believe in second chances. And I feel really bad because Madison wasn't going to let him get him Christmas Eve. He texted her and asked, could he get him? But our family had already had plans.
Mm-hmm.
And so she was just like, no, I told him he can't wait to the last minute to make plans. We've already made our plans for Christmas. And then she kept sending me the screenshots from him. And just from reading the screenshots, I felt bad because this was his first Christmas, being out with Carter. And I understood that. And I understood it, that he was his dad. And I wanted to give him the opportunity of spending Christmas time with Carter. So I told her, let him get him. So, I carry that guilt.
You know, you remind me of my grandmother. She was like that. She didn't like people being mean, or well, she called it being evil. She didn't like that, so she probably would have did this same thing. But then again, knowing her, is she just like you. If you already had some plans, she probably would be like, hey, tell him he just gonna have to wait. You know, what I mean, because we already made plans. You know, you can't come out and try to make all these demands or try to plan something at the last minute when we already got something planned, So my grandma was kind of like that as well. So the more I listen to you, the more you reminded me of her because she probably would have been the same way. Miss Holloway, but I had to ask you though, as a grandmother, because I look up to a lot of grandmothers and granddads as y'all our ancestors, and y'all teach us growing up about a lot of ins and outs because hey, y'all have been there and done that, so y'all could teach us a thing or two. So when you heard about all these mishaps he has going back and forth to jail, and Maddie is dating him, did you feel some type of way about Maddie dating him, or you didn't too much want to get involved in that, or what? Or if you have a
Of
personal thought
course, I wanted
process?
to get involved. And of course, I felt some type of way. But I don't know if anything has told you Madison's age. Madison was 16 years old when she got pregnant.
Oh, I
And
didn't know that. I didn't know that.
she's
Okay.
a teen mom. And she had only been dealing with him for a brief time.
Uh huh.
And I had not met him because I didn't approve of her and boys at that time.
Understood.
I had
Understood.
her in the competitive cheer, and I had a different path I wanted her to take.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but when she got pregnant, I supported her in whatever she, decided to do with as far as decision making when you get pregnant. And she just told me that she could not see herself having an abortion and killing her baby. So at
Okay.
that time, I gave her some numbers to some resources that would help her. Because I told her, I said, look, you saw how hard it was for me as a single parent, going
Mm.
back to grad school, getting my
Mm.
degree. I've tried to give you every opportunity and to live a totally different lifestyle. You don't have to make the mistakes that I already made in life. I said, so if you're having a baby, you're having a baby, not me. I'm not raising a
There you
baby.
go. There
I've
you go.
already done it. So
There
I
you go.
gave her a number. I said, write this down, 919-212-7000. I said, that's Wake County Human Services. So you need to call that number and find out what you need to do as far as prenatal care, WIC, and any other programs that they'll offer um, to help you prepare for having a baby. And she did that. She asked me for very little. She did not drive at that time, so to her doctor's appointments, she would ask me to take her to doctor's appointments and things like that, and I did that, of course. But she found different programs that would help her with parenting classes, and for every parenting class, she earned bucks, is what they called it. And then towards the end of her pregnancy, she was able to go shop in their store,
Okay.
and she got her crib and everything for her baby. Like I said, she was only 16, but Madison started her own hair braiding business at 15. Has filed taxes on it and everything after she turned 18.
Yeah, I'm hearing a lot of youngers doing it now, young girls doing it now, and actually,
Yes.
and I think that's a good thing, you know, for them to start off like that. And also, I want to give you a little praise, you know, how what you told her. You told her, hey, you having this child, not me. I will help you get the resources, but this is your responsibility. Now, we need more grandmothers like you to tell them that instead of coddling them and pacifying them. So I'm glad to hear that come from you to tell her that. You know, this is you. It's gonna be all you. You know,
Yeah.
I help as much as I can, but I want you to know, Maddie, this is you, dear. This is your problem. So salute to you on that. Salute to you.
Thank you.
I hate to hear that she got pregnant at 16, but you know, not to give anybody a pass, but we hearing it a lot lately, and I think that's a lot of problem that's going on in the world now is babies having babies. Would
Having
you agree
babies.
with that? Yeah, it's babies
I
having
do agree
babies.
with that.
And you know, Maddie, I don't know if she's listening, but she's one that my grandma used to say back in the day. I don't know if they still say that now. Young, dumb, and full of calm. You know, my grandma used to say that back in the day. You know, so, but in a way, you know, sound like to me for what you're telling me, she's grown up from there. You know, she's learning her responsibilities, and she got a little business going on. So hey, you know, like they say, we fall down, but we get up. You know, and I want you to keep leading her in that straight path that you're doing. Okay, I want you to lead her in that straight
Yes.
path. Okay. Somebody had a question, and I want to ask you this, and I think it's a good question. Far as AMIR goes, they said that he had a drug problem, anything that you know of the reason he kept going back and forth to jail, or you just don't know new
No, I
information?
just think he was a. I know nothing about a drug problem. I've met Amir's mom. She's a hardworking woman. She was a single parent. I don't know if that had anything to do with his, trouble or that he got in. I just know, as parents, we do the best we can with our kids to teach them right from wrong, but they don't always do what we teach them or what we want them to do.
Agreed.
They'll get out there
Agreed.
and make dumb decisions, based on the people they're hanging with or whatever. And
Hmm.
maybe that's what it was. But like I said, I didn't know Amir. I only met Amir after he came home.
Okay.
His mother briefly was in Carter's life, but that didn't last very long. They were like, I don't know what happened. She saw him a few times when he was a baby, but that was about it. But for the
Wow.
last 2 years,
Wow.
um, his biological father and his girlfriend have been, and when I say his, I mean Amir's biological father
Right.
and his
Right. Right.
father
Right.
together
Right. Right.
play active roles in Carter's life. They had him last Christmas. We've got the pajama pictures with Carter and their family, and they are tore up behind this. And they were worried that Madison would be resentful towards them since they are from Amir's side, but she's not because she knows who loves Carter.
Mm,
They showed her they love Carter.
mm,
And even I told at the hospital when I spoke to, they have something called a child abuse doctor. That's their specialty.
mm-hmm.
And I told her, I said, if the shoe was on the other foot and I was Amir's mom, or if Madison had abused Carter, I would still want access to the funeral and those things. So I have asked Madison to take that into consideration. Amir's mom and his family didn't hurt the baby.
Mm,
Amir did.
mm-hmm.
And I don't want her to punish his family. I'm not cold hearted. My anger is not towards his family. Her anger is not towards, I'm not going to say she doesn't have any anger towards his family because she does, because they're saying he didn't do it. which that's what your family does. They ride or die for you.
Thank you. I say that all the time, Miss Holloway. I say all the time. Family members don't want to make their family member look bad, you know, when the story is right there in your face. If you the last one that's with him or her, and y'all supposed to been having this a long time, whatnot, who else could have done it?
All
Who
right.
else could have done it?
Well, there was another adult in the house.
Oh, was it?
He lives with his girlfriend and her two children, not his two, her two children. But she's told investigators that she was asleep and heard nothing.
Really now?
Yes. And I want you guys to know that we never accused Amir of anything. When he called Madison, I don't know if he was at the hospital or on his way to the hospital, but he called Madison and told Madison that he was taking Carter to the hospital, or either he was at the hospital with Carter, that Carter fell off a bike on Saturday and then fell in the shower on Sunday. So we're just thinking, he got a boo-boo, maybe a mild concussion or something.
Mm-hmm.
And she gets to the hospital and FaceTimes me hysterical. This baby was on a breathing tube when she got there already. He was unconscious when she got there. Amir lied to us because over and over I asked him what happened. I asked him, was Carter conscious when he arrived at the hospital? He lied and told us he was. He said that he could talk to Carter, but Carter kept falling asleep. So I'm like, he still thinking bad concussion. It's a concussion.
Right.
So they tell us they're going to air flight him to UNC Chapel Hill for brain surgery to release the pressure. So we get to UNC. I'm thinking, my baby's going to be in the hospital for a while. He's got to have some brain surgery to, release this brain pressure. I'm not even thinking that, far along, like, is he going to be able to walk and talk and feed himself? I'm not even thinking it's that bad. I'm just thinking he's got he hit his head too hard. I'm still trying to figure out, like, oh my God, what happened? Because he's never rode a bike before. Let me tell you that.
Mm-hmm.
Carter has never had a bike. We've never bought him a bike because he doesn't know he can't ride a bike. Like maybe a tricycle or something that style. We brought him the things that, like the little fake cars you sit on, like
Mm-hmm.
a horse style, and
Mm-hmm.
moving with your feet. But far as paddling and balancing on a bike, no. So we're still trying to figure out, how is Carter riding a bike with speed enough to fall and hit his head to cause
Right.
that damage.
Right.
We're starting to trying to put this story together. I'm asking my questions at the hospital, like, so what happened to Amir? So then he goes, no, the injury, that it didn't happen from the fall off the bike, because he was fine after that. We went out to eat and we went to my brother's house and came back home. He fell in the shower this morning and I didn't know I shouldn't let him go to sleep. I'm like, what? What time did he fall in the shower? He said 8 o'clock Sunday morning. I said, well, what time did you take him to the hospital?
Right. Right. Right.
He said about 5 o'clock Sunday evening. I said,
Whoa.
huh?
Whoa.
He said, I couldn't get him to wake up, so that's why I took him to the hospital. And again, remember I told you, he told us that Carter was.
Oh, you there? Hello? Miss Holloway, I think you went out, babe. Hold on. Hoping that ain't me. Hold up. Is that me? Can y'all still hear me? Can y'all still hear me? Okay, she might got a phone call or something. I don't know. You can still hear Miss Holloway, but drop down. I see you hit it on mute, but unmute it. If you're saying something, I can't hear you, dear. So do me a favor. Drop off and try to come back up. He is staying with a girlfriend, and they have a couple of children there. Nothing wrong with that. But now, just like somebody asked in the chat room, okay, what's really going on here?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you now, dear. Hold on, I can hear you now. Yeah, you just went quiet
I
all
don't
of a
know what
sudden.
happened. Well, my daughter did try to call in, and I think that might have
Okay,
interrupted.
it do that. It do that. So the last thing we heard you say was he waited till later that evening to call the hospital, and you was going from there.
Correct. He waited till about 5 o'clock Sunday to take him to the hospital, and then when he got to the hospital, he lied, and because I'm asking questions now, like, well, what happened? What time did this happen? What time did that happen? And he goes, well, I said, so he hit his head Saturday and then again on Sunday? And he said, well, Saturday when he hit his head, he was fine. He got off the bike and walked in the house, and we went out to eat and went to my brother's house and then came home and went to sleep. Then Sunday is when he fell in the tub, and I think that's how we hurt his head. And then he got started saying, I effed up. I effed up. I shouldn't have let him go to sleep. I didn't know I couldn't let him go to sleep.
Mm.
And then the next thing you know, we hear a knock at the door, and it's the doctor telling us that the hemorrhage was too big to operate, that his
Oh
brain had been
Jesus.
shifted
Oh
from the
Jesus.
left side to the right side of his head, down the spinal, down the brain stem into the spinal column.
Mm-hmm.
So he said that Carter was not a candidate for surgery, and the exact words he said in the beginning of the conversation was, "This is a life-ending event."
Mm. Mm.
So we're thinking, okay, a life-ending event. My mother had a double brain aneurysm, and excuse me, when they told us that it was unoperable.
So you heard that you kind of got the idea what they was talking about. Uh-oh. She must got another phone call. She must got another phone call. Oh wow, this is crazy. Now this one right here. Wow, I didn't see nothing. I didn't see this coming. I did not. Well, it look like I got some of the stuff right. Miss Dees, and answer your question. Okay, the part about he previously abused somebody, that was correct but incorrect. What it was, how they had it in the article had me thinking that he had a previous history of abusing a child. But what it was an original charge they put on him regarding his son. Then they turned around and added the murder charge on top of that, meaning his previous charge was injury to a child. Then they added murder on top of that, so he didn't have no history of hurting no child. Well, he got one now, but he didn't have no history of hurting a child. They just added. They said the injury to a child was his previous charge until they added murder on top of that. Okay, that's what happened. And Chase Naaman, thank you, dear, because you put that in the comment section last night. And when I read that, I like, well, baby, you must ain't heard what I heard. But talking to the grandmother before we went live, she told me the same thing. She said, no, he didn't have no previous history of abusing a child. She said, but I talked to you. So as I was setting up the show, I went back to listen what I read. And I was reading it right, but I had the wrong personification of what they was talking about. So what they were saying was previously he was hit with a charge of injury to a child. Now that the story is going through, he is now hit with murder. So there is no history of him hurting a child. All right? So yeah, I had to get that right. Till she come back, let me see who all up in here. Miss D's, Night Owl. Hey dear. Steph, hey dear, what's going on? Chasing Amy. Jennifer Novas, hey dear, long time. How you doing, dear? How you doing? Deborah, I see you in the building. Look like she's back.
Yes, my oldest daughter keeps trying to FaceTime and it's kicking me out.
Oh,
I just had someone.
that's fine. That's fine. I can understand. Look what's going on. I can understand. You probably get a whole lot of phone calls. So trust me, I understand. But wow. Okay, this is from what I've done. in the articles I've read and the video clips I've played, nobody never said anything about his living arrangement. I guess they would be,
Right.
they would be irrelevant. But then again, just like somebody asking a question in the chat room, if you could answer this question, only if you could answer it. So now that we know he was staying with a female that had her own set of children, which I'm assuming wasn't his, right?
Correct.
Okay. Somebody asked, could it be possible? How did she act that you know of when Carter was over there with Amir?
I've never seen her until we were at the hospital. So I never seen him interact with her or her at all. I do know Madison did tell Amir that she wanted to meet his girlfriend if he was going to have her around Carter.
Mm-hmm.
Now, previously, Carter had been spending the night with Amir at Amir's mom's house and at a guy friend who had children's house. So it was like that guy friend would get his kids and Amir would get Carter and they would have sleepovers there.
Okay.
So the girlfriend house thing is something new.
Okay, so you know very little about that then.
Correct. But I do know that the police looked me in my eyes at the hospital and said, we will be issuing warrants, whether it's for one person or more. Anybody involved will be charged. So there is a possibility that more charges will be coming out. But right now, only Amir has been charged.
Okay, so if they're saying that then, and the reason I'm saying this, because again, I want you to understand, Ms. Holloway, I don't know if you listened to my whole stream last night or did you just skim through it. A lot of stuff I say, I try to let the audience know, hey, it's just speculation. I won't know unless everything come out or unless I talk to a family member. And thank God I was able to get a hold of you. I was hesitant at first because I know this is fresh, and I didn't know how it was going to go, but somebody did encourage me to say, Chris, this probably would be the perfect time to try to reach out to her while everything's going on. So I kind of took a gamble, and thank God you responded back, and thank God you went and did your research and heard the stream. So I thank you for that. But somebody just said in the chat room, could it be a possibility that the girlfriend may have had some kind of ill feelings and maybe she was involved in it? Okay, just a question, not saying that she is. But by you saying you know very little, it's just kind of hard to say right now. But however, though, by the police telling you that, it may be more arrest, kind of give me the intake is they feel somebody else is involved.
Well, even if she was not involved in the physical act, the fact that she was present and didn't call 911, didn't stop it, that gives her some accountability in it as well. If she knew he beat the hell out of that baby and didn't call 911 afterwards, didn't call an ambulance, didn't call...
You got another phone call. She got another phone call. God darn it. And I want to say this to y'all. The questions I am catching, y'all asking some damn good questions. Those are some damn good questions. All right? Those are some good questions. And Miss D, this is one of the reasons why I told Night Owl, go get you. And I was trying to find you on Instagram. I said, damn, I can't remember this woman's name on Instagram. What is this woman's name? And I finally found you. I said, hey, the interview coming up. Get over here. All right? So you're here. Nicole says she's on another name. And Jennifer, I am so happy to see you, dear. Thank you. Donna, I see you in the building. Steph, I'm happy to see you too. Tracy, I'm happy to see all of you. Much love to every last one of y'all. Much love. Deborah, all of y'all. I see my man, the real AK. He was up in there earlier. Appreciate you. My man, Marique. All right. Shrinking Sharon. Hello. Never seen you before, but thank you for coming. Amen. All right. Guys, we had the grandmother on the show who's clearing up some stuff, and it looked like she telling some stuff that we probably wouldn't know nothing about unless I talk to her. All right. But look like she's back. You back, honey?
I'm back. That phone keeps ringing.
I know. I'm not upset, dear. I already know what it is. I know what it is. So,
and it's the first Saturday, so all my family that work during the week, they're calling and trying to come by. So I can't tell you when it's going to stop ringing. And knowing my family and the support system we have, it won't stop ringing.
Right. Oh, wow. So you said Maddie said she wanted to meet her, which I think that's a good thing for a lot of people to do. You know, if y'all not together and you're gonna bring your child around to other people, I think that's a good idea for people to meet them. You know, get to feel their energy, their mindset, their body language, all this stuff. That's not a bad idea at all. Because I say all the time over here, you know, it got to come to some point that everybody got to be careful who you letting your children around, who you bringing them around, the kind of company that you keep. You got to be careful with all this stuff because children's mind is so fragile, and especially because they can pick up on stuff and start repeating what they see. And when they start doing that, it's gonna be a problem depending on what they repeating.
Right.
You know. So, yeah, wow, that's crazy. So if the police told you that, there may be more arrests. Then they probably finna be looking into their girlfriend too, you know. And just like you said, she may not have done nothing physically, but you was there or may have been there. We don't know. Well, I don't know.
She's admitted to being there.
She admitted to being there.
Oh, yeah. She said she was asleep. But it's no way you can sleep through a child being killed. He's screaming. He's hollering. And his voice is already amplified naturally because he doesn't understand volume control. So just imagine him being hurt.
Right.
He's super loud. You're not sleep. And you a mom. Them could be your baby screaming and hollering. You slept through that?
And autistic children can scream loud.
Yes, sir.
I'm telling you, Ms. Holloway, again, I work with adults who have all these special needs. And autistic is one of the big ones that they got along with schizophrenia. And when they holler, they get loud. Even a fire alarm, you probably won't be able to hear because that's how loud they get.
Right.
So I'm with you on that. You know how to. Oh, Jesus Christ! Wow.
And that's what CPS is saying. There's no way she slept through that. So hopefully she'll cooperate.
Wow, that's crazy.
Regardless, she needs to be held accountable too, because she carries some accountability. Because if you know anything about a brain hemorrhage, it gets worse with time. So if she had intervened at 8 o'clock that morning, so it might not have been half as bad as it got.
Wow. Jesus Christ. Ms. Holloway, if I may ask you, they say that Carter has a sister.
He does.
Is it AMIR?
No.
Okay. If you don't mind me asking, how old is his sister?
She is 2.
She's 2 years old. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I'm stunned. You know, this is crazy. I'm stunned, and I'm actually surprised you actually doing this interview without even breaking down. Man, this story right there just kind of in some way to put you in a depression state. So I read something last night on Facebook. I don't know if you got to that part of my show. And it scared me a little bit because how I read it at first, it seemed as they tried to say that Maddie died. And I was just like, wait a minute, is she dead?
No.
And I had
what did it say? I didn't see that part. Read it.
Ooh, geez, let me see if I can find it.
Or summarize it.
Let me see if I can find it again. Because I typed in your name.
Mm-hmm.
And, here it is right here. Somebody named Angie F. Patrice.
That's my best friend since the 3rd grade.
Okay, this is what she said. It just caught me off guard, but I had to read it a couple of times to see what she was talking about. And she said, these are her words, quote, "Dear Lord, my heart is broken because the loss of my said daughter, Madison Holloway." It's how she said it. I was like, wait a minute.
Oh, okay. No. She was saying the loss that Madison is.
Yeah, then I read the child called Holloway. I said, wait a minute. First, I had to keep reading. I'm like, wait a minute, Madison dead? I said, nobody said about Madison dead.
No.
But I had to keep reading. I said, they saying Madison Holloway child called Holloway. So they pretty much saying, hey, Madison's going through it right now because she lost a child or whatnot. But it says, Dear Lord, my heart is broken because of the loss of my said daughter, Madison Holloway, child Carter Holloway. He was your special gift from you, Lord. His death has left us all confused, but I thank you for the change you gave us, and more importantly, for Madison to be his mother. Please mend Madison's heart and remove all the anguish and pain that has broken it. I know this is much to ask right now because at 8/11, January the 1st, 2024, we had to finally say goodbye. That is so sad. And it has left Madison and all of us in deep sorrow. Anger, rage, pain, and hurt. Lord, I know you move mountains, but I'm asking you to move the entire universe. Please be with Madison, Tiffany Holloway, somebody named Kennedy Holloway. Who is Kennedy?
That's my oldest daughter.
Oh, okay. Kennedy Holloway and the entire family and extended family as they move ahead. I'm asking for super strength and peace. Lastly, and mostly importantly, justice for Carter. That was well put, but it just scared me because of the way she said it in the beginning. I said, wait a minute, Madison dead?
No.
Wow. Wow, okay. Let's see, something else we spoke about this morning. Oh, okay. Well, let me ask you this. Because they putting out saying that he was spending time with his dad for the holidays. Now, that can mean, I guess, a week or 2 weeks or whatnot. How long was he actually there with Amir?
He got him on. Madison took him to AMIR on the 22nd.
Okay.
And he went to the emergency room New Year's Eve.
Oh, wow. So not even a week. Well, a little bit over a week then.
Yes.
Damn, that's wild. That is wild.
And also, I saw on your podcast when I said something about he was covered from head to toe with bruises on the interview, and
yes,
you
ma'am.
were asking, those were the injuries from the incident.
Okay.
And when I say from head to toe, and I mean everywhere in between, my baby was beat all over. He was beat so bad that they couldn't even put a catheter in because his genitals were damaged. They had to use a machine to get the catheter in. And the way the doctor explained that to me, he said, it's nothing but a hole. You should be able to stick it in just like you stick a straw in a cup.
Uh-huh.
He said he can't tell me what caused the injury or what even the injury was. But he was swole down there and bruised down there too.
Ms. Holloway, let me ask you this. You said initially when y'all heard the story, you said y'all didn't blame Amir. Y'all said y'all just trying to find out what happened. But as you heard what he was trying to explain or what you heard or what you saw in the hospital, what was you thinking as Amir tried to explain to you what happened? What was going through your head then?
Well, I have a master's degree in child development.
Uh-huh.
So I know enough about trauma to children's head from shaken baby syndrome and just abuse in general that I knew that those injuries did not come from a fall off a bike or even just a child falling in the tub.
Mm-hmm.
Can a child get injured from falling off a bike or falling in the tub? Sure they can. But is their brain going to end up on the other side of their head and down their spinal column? Hell no.
Nope.
So I looked at the doctor's face with Amir sitting right there, and I said, could these injuries be caused by him falling off a bike? And the doctor said no. Now, they wouldn't give us very many details at that time because the investigation had not started to prove whose care Carter was in.
Uh-huh.
So at that point, everything was just medical terminology. They weren't even really trying to comfort us. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes, ma'am.
It was just more like, we're sorry for your loss. This is what's happening. Da, 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 da. Now, the next morning, that doctor looked me dead in my face and he said, I'm not going to sugarcoat anything. This is a child abuse case. This baby has been beat. He pulled the covers back and showed me all the bruises on my baby's body. Took his diaper off and showed me. I was devastated. I was angry. I knew then if Amir didn't do it, you say the only other person, adult in the home, was the girlfriend. So who did it? You got to tell me something.
Wow.
But we didn't say from Carter being beat, Carter da 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 da. The doctors told us that.
Right.
We didn't say Amir did it. They said Amir's going to turn himself in. He's going to meet us at the jail, whatever. They do the background workers, not the jail, but their office at 12 o'clock to give a statement. They didn't say to surrender himself or to turn himself in. They said to give a statement.
Mm-hmm.
When Amir was there giving a statement, detectives came out for the second time. When those detectives came out, Amir was arrested while those detectives were still at the hospital. They went ahead and charged him. When we were beginning the process of taking Carter off life support, at 6:30, I got a text message saying Amir had been charged. That's when they charged him for felony child abuse
That was
and
the
child
first charge.
and,
That was the first
and
charge
whatever.
initially.
Right.
Okay.
And then at 8:31, after Amir wasn't charged. Carter passed away, excuse me, at 8:11. Amir
Okay.
wasn't charged with the murder until the next day.
Next day.
I had already given my first news report interview, and the police wouldn't even verify at that time to the news that Carter had died. The only way the news knew, and if you watch the very first interview I gave with WRAL here in Raleigh, she says family has confirmed that Carter has passed away. That's because the police hadn't charged him with murder yet, and they weren't telling anybody yet. We knew that he was going to be charged, and they were going to upgrade the charge, but they hadn't done it yet.
You mentioned CPS earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Now, usually from the stories I have been doing that involve CPS, and correct me if I'm wrong, because again, I'm ignorant, I don't have any children, but I do a lot of stories that be involved with CPS, and usually a lot of time when Child Protective Service come out, when stories like these happen, meaning they have been out there before for something. Is this true or false, or do you know?
No, that's false. They came to the hospital because the hospital called a
Okay.
child abuse case.
Gotcha.
So my
Gotcha.
oldest daughter broke her leg when she was 2 years old.
Okay.
Okay. No child abuse. She was at the Easter egg hunt and broke her leg.
Okay.
I took her to the emergency room. They took her to x-ray. She was gone for over an hour. I started asking questions. Everybody kept saying, I can't speak to you. I can't speak to you. The next knock on that emergency room door was Child Protective Services.
Gotcha.
So
Gotcha.
the hospital, if the
They
hospital
call
calls
Child
child,
Protective Service. Yeah,
they're
okay.
coming out to see, right? Just like on TV. If you've ever seen like ER or whatever, and the parent takes the child in, the hospital calls Child Protective Services, and they come then.
Gotcha. And then somebody asked a question, which I guess you wouldn't know about this, but somebody asked, could it be possible that since this happened there and the girlfriend, her children staying there, do they have her children?
I've heard nothing about them taking her children away.
Okay.
But the detective did tell me that does give them leverage.
Oh.
You are a mom and your kids were in this house. You need to cooperate, or we can take your children.
Okay.
It does give them leverage.
Okay. Well, my advice to her: if you innocent, I guess, because of course you're gonna claim she's innocent. She gonna be like, I ain't do it, and this, and the third. But just like you saying, and a lot of people saying in the chat room, but the fact that you were there, you admitted that you was there. You do nothing to at least call 911, like you said. So, wow, this gonna be interesting. What may happen to her, and if they are gonna do any more arrests, that's gonna be very interesting. She got another phone call. God darn it. The real AK said he believes that his girlfriend did something to their child because maybe she was jealous. At this point, for what we're hearing from Miss Holloway, I don't know. I can't say, she don't have much information about the girl. She just know a girl stays there, so we don't know. So at this point, anything could be possible. Anything could be possible. All right? You back with us? You back, Miss Holloway?
I am back with you, and I do want to tell you that I'm back. Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
I know people have a lot of questions regarding the girlfriend, but what I was trying to say is someone gave a statement. I don't know who gave a statement, but they said with the investigative work they were able to do and the statement that they were able to get, that's why they charged him with the murder. if they are looking at the girlfriend for anything, it's not the actual act itself. It would probably be more like whatever the charges would be for not intervening, not calling 911, not being forthcoming with what she has to know something.
Yeah, yeah. Miss Holloway, somebody got a question, and I guess they've been kind of like researching it too. I guess looking out over Facebook. The question they said, Chris, can you ask her about the mom's post where she said Carter got beat because he peed in the bed?
In the bed.
Did the
So
dad
that's
go ahead?
right.
Did the dad not have a pad protector down where he slept? Now I haven't seen that, you know. So you are confirming that? I guess Maddie made that post or Kennedy.
Okay, no. I don't know if Kennedy made it, Maddie made it. I don't know who made it, but I've even made the same type statements. I haven't posted any of my personal opinions
Right.
other than I
Right.
miss my grandbaby and things like that.
Yes, ma'am.
But in the investigation, that's why he say he put him in the bath. It's because he peed in the bed.
Oh.
So that's where that's coming from.
Oh.
So that's why when he says Carter fell in the shower, he's saying Carter peed in the bed, so he had to give him a shower.
So he just constantly, for what it sounds like to me, he's saying one thing, but he's sticking with the same story, but it's like he added more stuff to it.
Correct. So the peed in the bed part, that's where Maddie or Kennedy, they probably both have said it on social media. I don't know.
Okay.
But that's where they saying you killed my baby for peeing in the bed, because that's what the shower thing was about. And when he said he fell in the shower, it's we don't know the truth. Tell us what happened, you know. We were told that he peed in the bed. You gave him a bath. Did you beat him in the bed and then he's unconscious, so you try to put him in the shower, or did you give him a shower for peeing in the bed? We don't know what happened. These are just bits and pieces of his story that he has said. So we're trying to figure it out ourselves as well. That's why I said that I need to know what happened. I pray that he finally just decides to tell the truth, even if it's to get a time reduction or a lesser charge. I don't want a lesser charge. Keep murder. But I do want to know what happened. Even if it's the girlfriend that finally says, look, I'm going to tell y'all what happened. This is what it was. I want to know what happened to my grandbaby.
Yes, ma'am. I understand.
Because Carter is potty trained. That's what that makes sense. Fully potty trained.
Really?
Does not have accidents. Oh, yes, sir. Carter does not wear a pull-up or depend. He doesn't have to have a bed pad. Nothing.
See what I'm talking about?
He does not pee in the bed.
See what I'm talking about when it comes to grandmothers? You know, like you and grandma like I have, you train them well, you teach them well, they grow up and learn well. All right? Sometimes learn better at an early age.
Carter can say bathroom. I've got a video on Facebook, if anybody ever goes up there and look at my videos, where he's dancing and I'm singing to him. And while he's dancing, he grabs his stomach and says, bathroom, bathroom, and takes off running to the bathroom. And I jokingly say, Dad, was my singing that bad? Like, Carter is not going to...
Yeah, send me that video when you get a chance.
I'll send it to you. Carter's not going to use the bathroom on himself purposely.
This is hard.
I mean, a typical child will have a bedwetting accident here and there.
Yes, ma'am.
If his girlfriend has 2 kids, somebody done peed the bed somewhere.
Exactly.
Like, come on, it's not that serious. Get them up, change the bed, and clean the baby up. But like I've said over and over, if at any time while he had Carter, if Carter was too much, if Carter got on his nerves, call us. I wanted my baby. Right. His Christmas presents were still under the tree waiting on him. I didn't get a chance to do Christmas with Carter. He didn't have to keep Carter. We didn't call him and ask him, do you want to keep him doing Christmas break while he's out of school?
He asked to do that.
Yes, he wanted Carter. I kept calling like, Maddie, can we get Carter today? When is my baby coming home? She would FaceTime him, and he'd be sitting there with the other kids watching TV. His dad would send us, Madison has pictures where she would text Amir and say, what's Carter doing? And he would send us a picture. I think the last picture I posted of Carter alive, he was getting ready to go somewhere with his dad, and he was standing against the wall looking away from the camera. And I think I captioned something like he was not in the mood to take pictures or something like that. But he could have brought Carter home. We would have went and got him. Hell, I went and took him a coat the day before Christmas Eve. That Saturday, Amir called and said that Carter didn't have a coat. And I took him a coat, an outfit, and a pair of pajamas. His Christmas pajamas that matched my other grandkids' Christmas pajamas that they were
Mm-hmm.
supposed to wear to open gifts at my house.
Mm-hmm.
Like I told you, we already had Christmas planned.
Yes, ma'am.
But because he asked the last minute, I went ahead and sent his Christmas pajamas, an outfit, and took his coat over there that Saturday before Christmas Eve.
Miss Holloway, let me ask you this. From what the news is telling, Amir had got out like in August. If I'm saying that correct, he got it in August. So a question would be, what I have right now, hearing all this, before the holidays, did Amir push to get him the way he did for the Christmas holidays?
He would want to get him. He kept him. Carter was sick. Before this, we had no reason to be concerned about Carter being with his daddy. Carter was sick, and Carter lives with Madison. They have their own place, Carter, Madison, and his little sister. Carter was sick and was the only one sick. He was having to miss school. Madison has to work. He asked to keep Carter. He said, well, we're sick over here too. He was afraid that Carter got whatever he had while
Mm-hmm.
over there for the weekend anyway. He said, just bring him to me and he can stay here
Mm-hmm.
until he got better. So he stayed there for about a week. This would have been the second time that he stayed with Amir for an extended period of time.
And here's the reason I'm asking, because if you would have told me that he didn't push like he did for the holidays, the way my mind worked, it would
seemed
sound
a little
like
funny.
he pushed for some kind of agenda, and almost as if he planned this or something. But you say he kind of somewhat he got out, but so I guess they would kind of knock that out. I guess I don't know. I don't know if the man had
Yeah,
it planned or not.
I don't feel like there was any ill will
Uh huh.
from the beginning. And I sat there and I watched. Okay, so while we're sitting there on Monday before Carter passed,
Mm-hmm. You got another phone call. Another phone call. Hey man, y'all killing with them questions, man. Y'all real talk. Y'all really killing with them questions. I appreciate that, real talk. Now, in order for me to really see y'all questions, y'all gotta put at, if you're on a computer, put at Chris Thorne Show, and it will highlight my name in orange, and when I look over, I can see it, but luckily I'm catching a lot of y'all questions now, but if you really want your question highlighted, you have to put at, I don't know if you can do it on the phone or not, but I know on a computer, if you put in the symbol at, the A with the circle on, at Chris Thorne Show, my name will light up in orange on my screen, and at my peripheral vision, I can see my name lit up, and I can see your questions. Now, a lot of y'all asking questions about the girlfriend and the children. Y'all hear her. She really don't know much about the girlfriend. She just know there's a girlfriend is there. But however, though, she might do know the ages. Oh, no, let's see. Maybe she do. All right.
can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
I don't know the ages. There was a little girl and she's a baby.
Uh-huh.
And then I was told the little boy was 3. I only saw him on FaceTime when we FaceTime Carter,
Yes,
but
ma'am.
he looked older than Carter to me. But I could be wrong. I don't know. I was
Okay.
told it's a baby and a 3-year-old is what the police told me.
Gotcha.
But I'm
Gotcha.
not sure.
Gotcha. 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 Yeah, wow, well, again, since the story's still fresh, it's really kind of hard to decipher what made this man do this. Because if I was the detective, Miss Holloway, I would have told the same thing too. Hey, ain't no accident happened here. This boy was beat. And then the proof is put. How you telling me? I can imagine what your eyes saw. The proof was right there in the pudding.
Right.
And he was beat. So all that fought and he bebop. Ain't nobody hearing all that, man. You or that girlfriend did something to that boy.
Right. Right.
If it wasn't both of y'all.
Right. I just want to know what happened. We know what happened far as he was beat and what the injuries are. I want to know the story. Tell me.
Right.
Somebody
Right.
be honest and come forth. I mean, he's been charged. They have enough evidence to prove that he should have been charged.
Mm-hmm.
My grandbaby is gone. Give us some closure to that part of the thing.
Right. Right.
like I don't even understand how I can sit here and have this conversation without crying, excuse, not
I
crawling,
know.
crawling. Shoot, I can't stand sometimes. But I just find strength when, like I said, as long as I'm talking about Bob, I'm okay. Now, when I have to start talking about what my baby went through,
mm-hmm.
I do get very emotional. But for some reason, I'm all right today or in this moment. Now, I might be tired when we hang up this phone and not be able to come out the bedroom for the rest of the day. Who knows? But I want justice for my baby.
Well, you know, like they say, Miss Holloway, and I'm sure you may agree with me, but and I say this over real life. You know, everybody agree different. Everybody agree different. And right now, maybe you all cried out right now because look like you did a whole lot of crying during the interview. You could barely hold your tears back then. And again, like I said, Grandma, you worry about the wrong thing. Time to worry about Madison. You crying. You got feelings, baby. Let it go.
Let me explain that to you. When I say I don't want to see my baby cry,
Go
I
ahead.
don't want her to see me cry.
Go ahead.
She was so weak that she needed me to be strong, if that makes sense.
Yes.
So
Yes.
I'm gonna
Yes.
grieve, and she know I'm gonna grieve. And
Mm.
Madison is strong in general, just a strong person. I don't know if that came from having a baby at a young age and knowing I got to get out there and get it out the mud.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that's what it is, but I even told my dad since Madison was a little girl, she's always been strong-willed. If she wanted, she's gonna get it.
Right.
If however
Right.
she got to earn it, she gonna earn it. If I say no, I'm not buying that. She gonna make some money. If she got to go to her granddaddy house and wash cars, windows, cut grass,
There you go.
she,
There you go.
she's
There you
always
go.
been a go-getter.
Earn
So
your
when
keep.
Madison got pregnant, I told my daddy I was hurt. My feelings was hurt because I tried to get her on birth control, the type of birth control we were looking for. They didn't do it where we live, so I was going to have to take off a day of work. So I just kept saying, Madison, don't be out here having unprotected sex. You're not on birth control. Trying to get her an appointment with this one specific doctor in another city to do it. That was about an hour away. And Lord, I love every one of my grandbabies,
Mm-hmm.
but she wasn't ready at 16 to become a parent.
Right. A lot of them not. A lot of them not.
So, but the way she turned it around and did everything she needed to do to be a mom, I told my dad I wasn't worried about Maddie because Maddie is gonna do what Maddie got to do for her to have, and I knew she was gonna have that same type of drive when it come to her child.
Mm-hmm.
And I even to this day, I've never had to do anything. It wasn't a situation where I see my grandbaby dirty or look rough. Or girl, he needs some tennis shoes. What size shoe? Never ever have I ever had to. Anything I do for my grandkids, I've done because I wanted to do, not because if I didn't, they weren't going to have it. Their mama wasn't going to take. No, 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 no.
Mm-hmm.
When it comes to those kids, she will go without before they do, and she's not gonna go without because she gonna bust her if she have to stand on her feet 15 hours a day braiding hair because next week is one of them baby's birthdays. She's gonna do that.
Well, amen to that. Amen to that. So she wasn't the ones that depended on grandma and granddad all the time. She made sure she went and did what she had to do.
That's right. She didn't
Amen.
depend on me,
Amen. Amen.
but she knew if she needed to depend on me, I was
Right,
gonna be
right.
there.
You help her. You help her. And that's one thing I used to hear elders say, you know, look, I don't mind keep your children every now and again, but don't think just every time you want to go out and party hardy, I'm gonna keep them all the time because we done did our thing. We already
That's right.
raised y'all. It's your turn. It's your responsibility. But we will help you where we can. But don't think every time you want to go party hardy, you know, we finna take your baby in because hey, it may be one night we want to go party hardy. You
Yeah,
know?
I raised my kids in my 20s. I'm 46 years old now with grown kids.
Wait a
I'm
minute. You
ready to
46?
I'm 46.
Well, bless your heart. All right. All right. All right. I thought you may have been a little older.
Mm-mm. I'm 46 years
Man,
old.
get out of here. Get out of here. But go ahead. What were you saying now?
You know, I raised my kids in my young 20s and 30s. My baby is 21. My oldest is 26.
All right.
And like I said, I got pregnant young. I finished college. I went to grad school. I went and got my license in the field I work in.
Mm-hmm.
And my kids saw me staying up late night getting those assignments in, sitting in front of that computer crying because I'm afraid I'm not going to hit submit before midnight. They saw it. They saw me go from making 10.50 an hour to the salary that I make now.
Mm-hmm.
They saw it. And like I told them, every mistake I made, I already made them. You have no excuse to make them. I'm not telling y'all something I read in a parenting book or I saw somebody else experience. I'm telling y'all from my life experiences. So you don't have to make the mistakes I made. I already made them. You set for success now.
Miss
So
Holloway,
when she did make those mistakes,
you must
you
be
know,
watching me a little bit longer than what you say you had. 'Cause I promise you, I say that a lot of times over here. I say that even though I don't have a child, but again, my grandmother sounds just like you. Sound just like her. Same message and everything, you know. And her thing was like that too. You know, just because I have children does not mean your life is over. A lot of people treat
that's
it.
right.
A lot of people treat it as they mean their life is over. No, it's not. You know, it just means you got extra responsibility. You got an
Hmm.
extra package you got to take care of. It doesn't mean you stop doing what you're doing. You know,
That's right.
and
And
it
like I
sound like.
told her,
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I would tell her when she was young, she didn't have a desire and she didn't want to cheer anymore or any of that. But I told Maddie, I said, look, you're young. I want you to still be able to go to regular school, and if you want to cheer, and I'll help you. I said, if you want to go to a 4-year college, I'll keep Carter so you can go to school. She never wanted to do that. She wanted to raise her child on her own. She didn't want me to have to raise her child.
Bless her heart. Bless her heart. Two questions I have, and this may be the last two that I have. I'm sure you heard me say, well, you know, I wasn't certain if him and Madison stayed together, but I guess you cleared it up. But had they ever stayed together?
No, they never lived together.
Okay.
Madison was 16 years old when she dated him briefly. And then before she even found out she was pregnant, um, I don't know. Actually, I don't know how quickly after she found out she was pregnant that he got locked up. But she was pregnant when he got locked up.
Got you.
And
Got you.
then, so from pregnancy until right before Carter's 5th birthday, Amir was locked up.
Got you. Uh, and my next question after that would be, they say if he gets convicted, he could get the death penalty.
Hmm.
How do you feel about that?
And we were just talking about that last night. That's funny. So Madison was saying she didn't want him to get the death penalty. She want him to stay in prison for the rest of his life and suffer. I told her that it takes so long for them to put people. In North Carolina, we do lethal injection, so we say put them to sleep.
Mm-hmm.
So it take them so long to put the people to sleep. I said I do want him to suffer every day for the rest of his life. I also want him to be scared because he know they gonna put him to sleep. So that's even more fear. I want him to feel the pain that my grandbaby felt.
Yes.
I want
Yes.
him to feel that fear.
Yes.
Somebody bigger than you beating the shit out of you.
Right. Right.
And excuse my language, but
No, 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 no.
that's
Don't apologize for
what it
that.
is.
Don't apologize for that. Speak your mind. I don't
That's
want you to
what it
speak your mind.
is. That's exactly what I want. I want them to beat him in his private parts. I want him to be covered from head to toe with bruises. I do.
You know, Miss Holloway, oh my God, like I said, you must be listening to me. I say that all the time. Hey, in this generation that we are in of youngest having children, I mainly want my platform to hit younger generation. I want them to see these stories and be like, you know, I don't want to be one of them. But when you do something this egregious, I mean, I feel like you should get done to you what you did to them.
Get to the person.
Let
That's
you
right.
feel
Eye
the
for an eye.
pain. Yep. Let him feel the pain that boy felt.
And you know, that's exactly how I felt. I come from a very religious family. Again, that's why I apologize for my profanity. And the day, the very next day after we came home, I came home from the hospital. I got home about 10 o'clock Monday night.
Mm-hmm.
The next morning, my family was here. Shortly after I woke up, and I couldn't sleep, so I was up very early. But when my family came together and prayed, my aunt Marion said that we were looking at what happened with natural eyes. When we
Mm-hmm.
kept saying Carter was afraid and how bad he physically hurt Carter. And
Mm-hmm.
she said she wanted us to look at it through spiritual eyes. She said something is telling her that it was angels in that bathroom with Carter, that he was surrounded by angels, that he didn't feel that pain. And I hope that that is true, that he didn't feel the pain, that he was protected. But I want Amir to feel some pain regardless,
I understand.
because I'm in pain. I'll
Mm-hmm.
never get to see my grandbaby again. I saw my grandson almost every day. And if I didn't get to see him, like physically see him, touch him, see him in my home, we were on FaceTime. I was a very hands-on grandmother
I
because
see.
Madison was so young. The first 2 years, they did live in the home with me.
Mm-hmm.
And then after that, I moved out and left her in the townhouse. And still would see Carter almost every day. Come home from work, go pick him up, take him home. We would go on vacation, and he wouldn't want to sleep in their room. He would sleep with me in my room. Carter, if you know Tiffany Holloway, you know Bob. Like I said, I couldn't hide that he was my favorite if I tried. People would say, "Stop saying it." I don't have to say it. Everybody would ask me, "Carter, your favorite?" I can't help it. I could not help it.
And tell us why you call him Bop again. You said he used to bop. What he used to do when you say
Because he
bop?
bopping around all the time. Bop, bop, bop. I mean, he was like a little basketball, just bopping around the house.
Okay.
So happy. He never walked. He was, unless you holding his hand. But
Okay.
he just bopped. He had a little bop with him. Even when he like even before he could walk, he would stand, pull himself up to his feet and jump and fall down on his butt on the couch. And would do it over and over again. He would climb you. He was just like a that's bop.
Bop bop. All right.
My
Amen.
bop.
Amen. Amen. Um, I guess my last question would be to you. Is Madison listening to us right now?
She is.
She's next to you?
I thought you said listening to you.
No, no, I'm saying, is she listening to us? Is she next to you right now?
Oh no, she's not here right now. It's raining where we are,
Uh-huh.
and she didn't want to bring the baby out in the cold.
Oh,
Cold.
so she is listening.
Mhm.
Okay. Okay. Um, 'cause I guess I want to speak to her just to see where her mind is. I mean, well, yeah, to see how she's feeling right now, how she's holding up, where her mind is right now. If she wanted to speak, but you saying she listened like you gave her the link and she may be listening
Yes,
to the show.
she knows
Okay.
I'm up here. And
Okay.
I. But I can tell you how Madison's doing.
Well, go ahead.
Madison's doing a lot better than I would expect her to be doing.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I didn't want to cry around her because I understand how that can be triggering.
Mm-hmm.
And so when I see that she's not crying and she's sitting there talking about, her happy times with him, even though that might trigger me to cry, I'll try to step away and do it so she doesn't see it.
I
But
got you.
she told me that night times are the worst time for her, and when she's by herself. So she's really trying not to have to be alone at all. She's been staying with family and friends. She does not. She tried. She went back to her apartment yesterday for the first time since
Mm.
she walked out the door to go to the hospital to see him.
Okay.
And she actually was already supposed to be moving, but she said she can't even go in there and pack his room. So,
Like I said, there everybody agreed different. I can only imagine because I never lost a child. I never had a child to lose, so I know it would hit really different losing a child, especially a child. Excuse me, dealing with special needs. So I know that's a different hit. And but listen to what you're saying. I can understand it. But I want to say to Madison, she listening. I don't know if she in a position where she could type in the chat room. But Madison, I want to say, dear, sound like what you have here is a great grandmother who look like she taught you right. And for what she's telling us, ever since she taught you right, you've been on that right path. I want to say to you, my heart goes out to you, dear. Bless your heart. I'm sorry this has happened to you. There's no words I can say they can fix it. There's no words anybody can say can fix it. So I just want to give you my condolences, dear, and and hopefully you will heal up from this and you could keep straight on that narrow path that your grandma has taught you. All right. So
I'm her mom. I'm Boppy's grandma.
oh, Jesus Christ, your mom. Sorry, I am so sorry, mom. We've been talking about grandma. I got grandma in my head. I apologize. Your mom, dear. Sorry, your mom. Okay. Her name is Holloway. I want to share something with the people that you told me that you are. Because this go when I say, if he was getting abused, why nobody didn't say nothing, this, that, and the third. And I want to share to the people what you told me.
Uh-huh.
You said, where is it at? It's in here somewhere. Oh, guys, she told me that I also want you to know that I am a teacher with a master's degree in child development. I am a mandated reporter of abuse or suspected abuse. If his mom or myself thought Carter wasn't safe when in Amir's care, he would have never been there. That monster had us food. So, guys, she's also, pretty much the advocate reporter of abuse and neglect to children. Bless your heart for that, dear. Bless your heart for that. But her name is Holloway. That's all I got right now. I just want to thank you for coming and clear some stuff up. Again, thank you for going and do the research yourself and saw my video, and you knew what questions I had, so you already know that what the answers to give me. And if you having the last words, dear, I'll let you close it out. And if you don't mind, keep me updated what's going on with the story.
I will definitely keep you updated.
Yes, ma'am.
If your listeners can find it in their hearts to contribute to their GoFundMe, you can just put in his name, Carter Holloway.
Mm-hmm.
The links are also on my Facebook page, my daughter's Facebook pages as well. But I'm just glad that I was able to talk to you and clear up some of the confusion, because I didn't want anybody to just assume or form their own opinions about what may have happened. I want the truth to get out there that,
yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
that
Do me a favor real quick. If you can real quick, just post a link in the messenger and I'll post it over there in the chat room. Let them see it. And, if they want to donate, let them donate. So are you able to post a link in the messenger right now?
Yes, I can.
All right. Yeah. If you do that for me real quick, I'll share it out with them and, let them do what they do. But go ahead. You were saying something. Sorry.
I was just saying, I want the truth to come out. I want justice for my grandbaby in the end.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And I hope he does get justice, because this is just insane.
It is. It's
This is
just
insane.
unreal.
It's insane.
It is in your messenger
I
inbox.
got it, and I will share it with them, dear. Miss Holloway, love you, dear. Thank you for this. And again, condolences to you, prayers to you, and justice for Carter.
Thank you
And
so
you have
much.
my number, so you know how to reach. You know how to reach me.
And I'll keep you posted on anything that comes, if anyone else is charged or anything.
Okay, and let Madison know if she want to come up and speak up piece. Hey, my platform is open to her as well.
All right, I'll let her know. You hear, Maddie?
All right. Thank you,
All right.
dear. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. All right. Again, let me iterate as far as these platform goes. Let me iterate. It ain't easy doing these stories. It's not. And I want to also keep iterating. When I get up here and talk about these stories or whatnot, I want y'all to keep in mind, it's only speculation until everything comes out. It's only speculation. And for her to go where I came, reached out to her, and for her to go find me, I thought that was pretty awesome. And when she hit me back up this morning, as we continued our conversation, you know, she said, I want to clear up every question that you had about Madison and all of this. She said, I want to clear it up because you had a lot of questions you was asking, you know, because I forgot to send her the link. I don't know how I did that, but I forgot to send her the link. But I just thought she probably would get mad at some of the stuff I was saying, but it's not like she's a woman that listens and understands where people come from when they make assessments of situations, and I appreciate that as well. Okay, because I'm not on here trying to hurt nobody or just trying to slander nobody, nothing like that. You know, but when the story just sounds shitty, it just sounds shitty. And I thought this man been abusing this boy. But all this happened like right there. It happened pretty much right in the same day, what it sounds like. Unless you want to include the Saturday where he claimed the boy fell out the bike. But other than that, though, everything just happened right there. It wasn't no period of time. Everything happened just right there. All right? Now, their girlfriend, that's a mystery right there. That's a mystery. Their girlfriend, that's a mystery. So I want to see what the hell going on with their girlfriend. Excuse me. I want to know what's going on with their girlfriend. All right? Because like she said, an autistic child, the way they scream, ain't no way in hell you slept through that. You didn't sleep through that. They scream loud. So either you heard what was going on, you didn't intervene, or you was part of the beating. You was part of the beating. All right? But we just had to see what happens. We just had to see what happens. Everybody good? Everybody good? How did y'all like this? How did it go? How did I do? It's been a while since I did an interview. How did I do? And I tried to ask all the questions y'all had in there, which again, damn good questions. Damn good questions. Some damn good questions. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. That was a damn good questions. And I'm telling you, she reminded me so much of my grandmother. She was like that. She was like that. But I didn't know she was 46 years old. Wow, I thought she was older than that. So how did I do? How did I do? Miss D, baby. Oh Lord, Miss Dees, I love you. He said, baby, this was good. Oh Lord. But I'm still saddened though because again, this just shouldn't happen, man. Dad doing this to his own child, it's just too much, man. And I was correct on that, you know. Madison would just feel like they feel like they were doing the right thing, you know. The man just got out of jail, so they wanted him to spend time with him. So they thought they was doing the right thing. They did. But if she would have told me that in August he got out, that he didn't push to get Carter then, but he pushed for the holidays, like I told her, that would have made me think he planned on killing this boy. Which he probably still could have done it. He probably still had that plan. Damn, I forgot to ask her. Did him and Madison had an argument or something? I forgot to ask her that, but don't sound like they did. I don't think so. They'll be for Maddie to tell me if she's listening. Maddie, dear, I would love to talk to you. I really would. I would love to talk to you. I really love to talk to you, Maddie. So if you do the honors, whenever you feel like it, if you would do me the honors, I would love to talk to you, Maddie. Please, I would love to talk to you. All right. Other than that, guys, love y'all bunches. Love y'all bunches. Y'all are an amazing audience. Tyrone, we don't know the answer to that yet. We don't. We still waiting on that. We don't know. We don't know. As a matter of fact, yeah, we just don't know. We don't know yet. It's still fresh, so we don't know. I'm still waiting on that too. I'm still waiting to hear that too. Why did he do it? That's a good question too. Why did he do it? Damn good question. Damn good question. Anyway, y'all are the best. Thank you. And stay tuned for an update of your man Chris Thorns. Y'all be safe out there.